Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Excellencies, Honourable Minister, our ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everyone. I feel overwhelmed delivering a keynote speech to the highly distinguished audience in the World Future Energy Summit on a topic that some would say is hard to predict, the future of cities. You know, when I was younger and still within the habit of reading a book a week, I came across a line from the great management guru, Peter Drucker, that stayed with forever. The best way to predict the future is to create it. There was a movie from our youth, Back to the Future. It predicted that people would be using holograms and flying cars by now. Since that hasn't happened yet, let's see what's really happening. So today, we would be looking at something interesting, how Bangladesh is catching up and creating the cities of the future in terms of power and water. For time constraint, I will be focusing mainly on our capital, Dhaka. Let us begin. The World Bank predicts that by 2050, 70% of the people would live in cities. But this is a conservative estimate. I think by 2050, most of the population would be centered on huge urban agglomerates. Cities use most of the power and water, and cities are responsible for most of the global greenhouse emissions. Which brings us to the fastest growing megacity in the world, Dhaka. Dhaka has a population more than Sweden, Finland, Norway combined. Number of people arriving each year to live in Dhaka is more than the entire population of Iceland. So far, the future of our city, we have thought of three key blocks to develop: energy, environment, and equity. First, we come to energy. A city needs uninterrupted power to function, and it needs clean source of power. The citizens need primary energy for cooking and powering vehicles. Renewable escalations is needed to provide the balance and start tipping the scales for the future. And since cities are getting congested, we need intelligent use of space. Government is working hard on providing uninterrupted power for the cities. Our goal is to reach an installed capacity of 60,000 megawatt by 2041. In doing so, we are thinking of power mix something like this. Based on clean coal and LNG, I know it's awkward to look at coal, the oldest fuel to generate power in the Future Energy Summit. But unfortunately, we cannot overlook it when Bangladesh is growing. LNG is, of course, our agenda as our domestic gas is depleting. The renewable energy policy of Bangladesh mandates generating 10% of our power from renewable sources. We are also looking into the possibility of mainstreaming our renewable and nuclear base. We are working with the best consultants around the world. Of course, this renewable escalation also has its own challenges, but that is a topic for some other day. Citizens need energy to cook and heat and drive their vehicles. Dhaka is one of the most complex pipeline gas systems, which is getting old. Furthermore, our domestic gas reserve is depleting. So we choose LPG as our next primary fuel options. We may also use LPG for powering vehicles. In terms of renewable escalations, we have estimated that Dhaka has a potential for almost 1,000 megawatt rooftop solar, which is why the government has ruled that all new buildings must have a rooftop solar system circulated on the basis of their power use. The government buildings are leading the way in terms of those solar installations. Of course, there is a challenge of business viability, which brings me to the option of net metering. Once we put the policy in place, the building owners will start putting solar rooftop on their own. With renewable escalations comes energy efficiency as well. We want to be a nation where energy efficiency is not only talks, but ingrained in our policy. We have created an energy efficiency and conservation master plan, which focuses on lowering national consumption and introducing new technologies to buildings, industries, complexes, and households. Other than making the citizen aware, we have started efficiency improvement in our distribution companies, which alone will save 800 megawatt. Other than that, we have several programs which are now being implemented on ground. These are energy audit, energy efficiency leveling program, building energy efficiency rating programs, energy efficiency awareness program, energy efficiency financing program. Our cities are strive of space. The way out from this situation is building intelligent system, which can boost the efficiency of service delivery. We are working with several world-renowned companies like ABB, Siemens, TBA, Huawei on some interesting projects such as smart cities, small transformers, prepaid smart transformers, and prepaid meters, underground cabling, underground substations. The second block is environment, for which today we'll talk about water and waste. Our Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was awarded the Champion of the Award for her efforts to conserve the environment. You can imagine what importance this holds for Bangladesh. Water is the lifeblood of the city, any city, of course. Wherever there was a river, a city grew. Dhaka is the only capital in the world surrounded by 4 rivers. But pollution of water has made it hard for Dhaka on several accounts. The prime concern is drinking water. To combine this, we have devised a policy where new buildings have to recycle the tap water to be used in washrooms, which has brought down water uses in large buildings by 15%. Dhaka treats about a third of our wastewater, and the government is looking for ramping up that number. And lastly, we are poised to start using a large aquifer discovered recently to reduce pressure on underground water. Another issue related to water is water logging in the city. Dhaka has a flooding problem, which is in mid-90s was managed by a host of flood zones. But mismanagement of lakes, canals have made Dhaka flood prone. The government is working hard to free up the lakes and canals. The second problem is precipitations. Water just evaporates from small reservoirs. We are looking at large water retention areas, but land is scarce. It is a challenge that we are yet to deal with. We are planning to do utility level rainwatering harvesting, but we need more study on that so that it doesn't clash with underground water levels. Next is waste, which is somehow connected with power. Dhaka generates a huge amount of waste daily, which is making life difficult for everyone. The waste can be used in a digester or an incinerator, gas and heat from which can produce power. We have started pilot projects of 1 megawatt box type digester in Keraniganj, a satellite city of Dhaka, which is also my constituency. If the model becomes successful, it may replicate it in all other constituencies. Next, we are going to talk about equity, which is all about access, delivery, information, and capacity building. Cities and business need power and water on demand. We have made significant progress in delivering effective service. Next up is how to reduce paperwork. Citizens can pay utility bills using apps. We have made a huge stride in access to information. Our website, social media page, and open data portals help citizen, business, researchers, everyone who needs information. We are building capacity for the future. The Bangladesh Power Management Institute and Petroleum Institute is being upgraded to make way for future sector of professionals. The mega cities of the world are fighting to retain talent around the world, and we are taking small steps to retain them. My ministry is the first ministry to offer an internship to graduates. We are organizing hackathons to boost the enthusiasm of students. We have created the Bangladesh Energy and Power Research Council to fund for students' research and startup projects. All this comes with challenges, and there are a lot of them. But for today, I would like to highlight the following. Population management. This is a huge issue. Also, talent management, where all the mega cities in the world are vying for global talents. Dhaka is struggling to keep its own. How can we manage that? Financing is a challenge. In energy efficiency technology, large public infrastructure, you make money by saving money, so they're hard to finance. Smoke is a problem in most of the mega cities. Dust is a problem. Environment is of top priority and is paramount to start working on improving the environment. Next is transport. People need to move as cities grow. Moving around is going to be a huge challenge. Already Dhaka has a massive traffic problems. The cities of the future need intelligent transport solutions. Protecting urban environments is also a concern. In a poorly regulated environment, people build buildings, structures in any place, leading to congestion, poor living conditions. We need to check low-income households and find out how to give them a better living conditions. Last is maintaining a stable supply chain and service delivery system in the city. Cities need a host of other services, like police, fire stations, and hospitals. As cities grow larger, denser, we have to find more intelligent solutions to deliver services, and in some of the worst case, manage disasters. As we come to the end of this keynote, I would like to share another personal experience. I was always very interested in urbanizations and architecture. In my 20s, I was reading a lot of books, listening to a lot of people. Then it struck me, cities are for people, not the other way around. The biggest, most vibrant, the most famous cities are designed around humans. London, Rome, Istanbul, Tokyo, Paris, New York. Cities are flawed inherently in their design. But it's the flaws that lend it its beauty. The solution for future cities will come from source where it makes the lives of the citizens easier with clean power like solar and wind, fast transport system like Hyperloop, service delivery and AI and drones, things like that. I'm always a big fan of Superman. Superman lives in a city called Metropolis, which is always sunny and bright. It represents all things good and about humanity. And there is a Batman living in Gotham, a huge concrete maze filled with crime and darkness. Every megacity is in that tipping point. How we allow the cities to grow is up to us. Thank you, everyone. I have a 3-minute video. I think you will enjoy it about Dhaka. Thank you.
Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, world's most populated megacity. For every square kilometers, there are 40,000 people living in this city. With this influx of population, at least 1,500 people migrate here on a daily basis. To cater to the needs of a growing population, lakes and riverbeds are being filled up, threatening the availability of fresh water. City dwellers often struggle to access this scarce resource. In 2009, Sheikh Hasina's administration took upon this enormous challenge by undertaking a project worth 14 billion taka. Saidabad water treatment unit was repaired and improved in several stages. Now, in Dhaka, fresh water is available in ATM booths. Citizens can now access water by simply swiping their cards in the machine. To reduce contamination, hundreds of sewage drainage systems have been put into place during this government. Water treatment plants established near city borders have been relocated to remote areas. 640 million liters of water is being filtered daily just from the plant in Bagherhat. The current administration is also concentrating on reservation of rainwater. A mandate has been placed by the government to allocate enough space along each building to collect, preserve and maintain the freshness of rainwater. In the river around Bangladesh, boats are starting to run on solar power, making lives easier for people while also decreasing pollution. Citizens of this country are now shunning power systems in favor of renewable energy. Even in the peri-urban areas, renewable energy-powered cold storages are improving the microeconomy. Small vehicles are also running on renewable energy. Under the direction of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, 50% of the social peri-urban budget is being relocated to ensure the use of renewable energy, providing energy-efficient lighting in schools, colleges, and even street lamps. Load shedding is now a distant memory in Bangladesh. Due to this investment made by the power sector, production capacity has improved drastically with more than 16,000 megawatts in installed capacity. Just like the improvement in villages, renewable energy is also benefiting the urban economy. Solar panels are now compulsory for high-rise buildings. Bangladesh is leaping boundaries in the mega-city race. Infrastructure like metro rail, bus rapid transit, elevated expressway is all physical evidence of the development. Bangladesh is walking towards a green and sustainable future. The target for tomorrow is set.